Welcome back, fellow travelers. I want to talk to you today about the Great Wall of China and which sections I would recommend you visit and which one I'd recommend you avoid. So I've been to a few of them, but before we get into that, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. But not only that, it lets you know when we upload new videos. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, I've been to Beijing twice, and I went to 3 different parts of the Great Wall. But first, we'll let you know how to get there. The most popular way is to take a tour. If you're staying at a hotel, most hotels do offer the touring service, or they're partnered with a tour guide that will bring you to the Great Wall. It's important to note that the Great Wall of China is not the only stop on a tour. You will go to jade factory shops where they try to get you to buy something, and you'll go to a food house. You'll also probably make another stop or 2 along the way. So if you're just looking for the Great Wall, you're probably gonna have to find a ride elsewhere, most likely a taxi. I'm not very comfortable with taking taxis all the way to the Great Wall. It's like a 2-hour, sometimes hour and a half drive, and there have been reports of scams involving fake taxis taking tourists far out of Beijing and then robbing them. Just travel smart. So avoid the taxis, that would be my recommendation. Suck it up, take the tour guide. I did it twice. It wasn't that bad. It is interesting to go visit a few other places, and the jade factories that they bring you to, they're just there to sell you stuff. Don't really buy anything. That's not necessary. They're not forcing you to buy anything. It's just a waste of time. But again, it's the Great Wall of China. It's a sacrifice I was willing to make, and I think you should make it too. So with that said, a lot of tour guides do like to bring people to the Beijing wall section. Now, this is the most crowded section of the wall in all the Great Wall of China, so bear that in mind. If you don't mind huge amounts of tourists, give it a go. It shouldn't be an issue for you, but if you are susceptible and you don't like large groups, do not go to this one. Avoid it at all costs. It is completely restored, so there's no need to worry about any dangers of like falling off the Great Wall or running into some ruins that make you uncomfortable. Just know that there are a lot of people. When I went during my first time, and it was insane how many people there were there. Not only that, we went on the Chinese New Year, so the day of the Chinese New Year, which according to locals is supposed to be the quietest time of the year to travel there and to go to the Great Wall and sightsee, and it's one of the most crowded places that I have ever been. So get there early, get a tour that goes there early in the day. Know that at Beijing there are steep inclines and declines, so if you're uncomfortable with elevations or climbing up a flight of stairs, this is going to be an issue for you. Not only that, the stairs are kind of uneven, so you have to be careful. So if you're somebody that might be limited in mobility, look to a different wall section. There's a great resource, and that's chinahighlights.com, and that gives you a rundown of a lot of the different sections. And use that resource if you want to look at different ones. I only went to 3 of them, so I am highlighting 2 of them. The one that I would avoid, which is Beijing, and the next one, which I think that you should go to. So if there's anywhere in between, check this site out. I found it to be a pretty good resource when doing some extra research. Now, during my second visit to the Great Wall, I went to Mutangyu, and I absolutely adored it. So it's an hour and a half, and you need to take cable cars up. One thing to mention is that these cable cars are extremely rickety. I did not feel comfortable in them, but at the end of the day, it got the job done, and I got up and down just fine. Just they're a bit rickety, but I don't think we could expect any more from a visit to the Great Wall of China. Now, compared to the crowds that were at Beijing, it is pretty much a deserted area comparatively. There are still people there, but I went long stretches on the Great Wall without seeing anybody. It was great. The wind was blowing in my hair. It was a crisp spring day. I absolutely adored it, and I spent actually several hours there. I grabbed one tour out and then another tour back in to the city. It was phenomenal. I really felt connected. I spent a good amount of time just sitting there listening and connecting with myself. It was one of those experiences that I highly recommend you do. There are elevations which can rival that of Beijing. You can be on a chunk of the wall that doesn't really have that steep or that much of a dramatic incline or decline. So if you're limited mobility, this might be a good option. This one here also had amazing sights. I absolutely loved looking over the wall and looking at the mountain range. It was just awe-inspiring. It was one of the greatest memories I have from traveling, and can't recommend it enough. Now, one thing to know that you should prepare for at the Great Wall is bring water, bring some hydration, because there are people that are going to be selling water there, and the prices are astronomically high. It is crazy how high and how much they charge water. It is the perfect example of supply and demand. and how if you want something, you need it, you are going to be paying any amount of price. We're talking about several dollars for a small bottle of water, and they know they can charge that much. And it's not an official Great Wall of China vendor. These are people that just buy a bunch of water, hike up the Great Wall, and then just wait for people to come by. So really bring water, bring like an energy bar, bring something to give you the energy. Nuts. Just make sure that you're properly equipped. And speaking of properly equipped, now a lot of people will ask, is it safe to go to a unrestored part of the Great Wall? And I can see the appeal of wanting to walk through some ruins, but I don't recommend it. I have had friends that have went and they've had accidents, not life-ending, but definitely accidents that they regretted going to that part of the Great Wall. You know, you slip, you fall, you end up going into a Chinese hospital. Your insurance, if you have it, will give you a hard time trying to cover it depending on what injuries you get and what part of the Great Wall you're on. So I would just say avoid it. Don't give yourselves those types of headaches. Stick with the restored parts. They're beautifully restored. And there are people that pass by frequently enough that if you do get into trouble and something happens, you slip, fall, twist an ankle, you will get picked up sooner rather than later. Whereas the unrestored parts of the Great Wall aren't really monitored that frequently. So do keep that in mind. So there you have it. That is my vote on where to go for the Great Wall of China. Just a recap, Mutangyu is the place to go. Badaling is a place that I would avoid just because of the crowds. It is nice, but it's very heavily populated. There are a lot of people walking up and down those steps. If you've been to the Great Wall of China, let me know what you thought. Which section did you visit? Was it a highlight or low light for you? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any pictures that you'd love to share, hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is right over here. And in the meantime, you can check out some of my other videos right over here. And if, again, you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right over here. Helps the channel out. And again, lets you know when we upload new videos just like this one. I'd like to thank you for making me a part of your day. Until next time, safe travels.